Hello, and thank you for taking the time to learn about GSP. The mission of the Georgetown Scholarship Program, GSP, is to serve Georgetown students who are receiving scholarships made possible by supporters including alumni, parents, and friends. These students are often the first in their families to attend college. GSP provides its students with the resources and opportunities that will help them to succeed at Georgetown and beyond. Within GSP, students have access to an accomplished alumni network, career assistance, mentoring programs, campus connections, and more. GSP's innovative program helps Georgetown to be a global leader in enrolling scholarship students and providing them with dedicated support throughout their college experience. You will hear stories from our amazing students.
My name is Stephanie Peterson.
Hi, my name is Antonio Wochisano.
Hi, my name is Devin Coman.
My name is Will Collins.
My name is Julian De La Paz.
My name is Katie Lewandowski.
My name is Joseph Vitayato.
Anthony Valdez Lopez.
Hi, my name is Javier Pena.
Jacqueline Wright.
Alex Farley.
And
Ryan Zerman.
All GSP students and alumni, who their backgrounds, their activities at Georgetown, and how GSP has been an essential part to the Georgetown experience. We hope you enjoy.
To be completely honest, I never thought I was going to get into Georgetown. I come from a very small town that kind of has a parochial attitude in small town rural Connecticut. I had a very tough freshman fall, just kind of overall adjusting to what Georgetown was going to be like, living with my very wealthy and wonderful roommate, but there are definitely some kind of class differences there.
So, like you said, I normally am not the type of person that wants to get mentored. I don't like people telling me what to do. But I don't know, nothing really specific. Just like sometimes I always like to overanalyze and overthink things. And I do need like someone there to tell me like, you're going to be fine, or, you're doing the right thing. And just it doesn't leave me feeling like I'm alone.
Being a citizen to the United States is so much more than just living in the country. It's giving back to your community, and it's participating. So ever since I was little, we were doing trash pickups, or my mother volunteered at hospice or community against violence for domestic abuse, things like that, always involved in the community. So there were two aspects of Georgetown that really appealed to me: the idea of service for others, and the academic program for IR.
Georgetown has a number of these things called PreOrientation Programs that you can apply to the summer before you come here your freshman year. I think like the biggest one's like 50 people or something, but you apply, there's different themes. One of them is called FOSI. I think it's the most famous one. It's like a social justice thing where you do a lot of volunteer work and all sorts of like Jesuit style reflection. But Julian and I both applied to one that's run through the scholarship office called Preparing to Excel Program, PEP. And we met in that and became friends. We both had a mutual friend that we were friends with over the summer over Facebook. Tiffany. And we were both really good friends with her, and then we met.
It's so funny because I didn't really ever, I think studying abroad made me realize just how different Georgetown is from a lot of other universities, in that everyone here is so motivated and so passionate about what they're doing. And to be in that culture, you really I came to take it for granted. And then I went abroad and I was with students who weren't necessarily, we're still passionate and motivated, but just not to the same extent that the culture is here at Georgetown. It's so supportive and inclusive, and, everyone's involved in so many different things and just so hardworking.
I finally ended up taking this class called Philosophies of Hinduism. Considering I'd be from India and, I know how to do this thing, I walked into that class. The first 3 weeks, I knew that class was the biggest mistake, only because that was so hard. I come from that country, and it was so hard for me to understand exactly what he was trying to get to. And he knew more about India than I did. And I was a little shocked. And I said, I've lived there for 18 years. How could it be that I don't know as much as you, or I've experienced as much as you have? And he went about taking such a deep interest in that class and trying to help us understand. Took us up to the rooftop of LXR, made us meditate for a whole class just to understand what it feels like to meditate. And it was freezing in I don't know, Jan or Feb. It was such a great experience because it opened my eyes to so many things and a worldwide perspective of how other people view certain cultures and certain religions. I found the class to be hard, but I absolutely enjoyed it, and I think that'd be a reminder as to, I come from a country where I should know all of this, and this is something that's so core and essential to people that live in India, and yet I bet you 90% of them don't understand it the way he does, and it was an eye opener. I enjoyed it so much.
I mean, a lot of the personal growth has been kind of learning more about my heritage, which is kind of odd to say, since a lot of people come to college, university, and deal with like an identity crisis. Like, oh, what am I? Yeah. Like I said, I grew up predominantly all Mexican, so it wasn't ever like, yeah, I'm American, I'm Mexican. Like, it didn't really matter because we all knew like we were all the same. And then coming here is like, oh, start using the term Chicano. What does that mean? Should I be using that more? Is it wrong to say that? Should I just say Latino? Should I just say straight up Mexican or Mexican American? So for a time, I would say Mexican because I do like to respect to like a lot of this time I spent in Mexico and how that has really shaped me. But it was also like, I can't deny like a lot of my education was here, and how that's also like it's been shaping back and forth. They complement each other. So like, how do you pay homage to that? And so, since I've started using the term like Chicano Mexican, I've learned a lot about my culture being here outside of both the worlds I grew up in. The climax was like yesterday, dancing at the White House for with Ballet Folklorico and representing basically everything that's shaped me.
I have discovered passions here that I would have never imagined having. I knew I like politics, government in general. I figured I'm going to end up doing something in this area in DC, which is the place to be if you're interested in politics. But I've discovered that through certain classes, that I love philosophy, theology, certain disciplines, the liberal arts. And that's something that today I think back and I think I should have majored in those things instead of international relations.
Yeah, my number one priority is, to stay at Georgetown, because I've kind of like I said, this has become another home to me. Like, I have my home with my family, but this has become a home too. And, I think that really speaks for the university. So I just kind of want to work in the administration somewhere.
I remember, and I met with Neil Shah, who basically was like, I would like to be a TA as well. He blazed that trail in many ways. But I remember chatting with him about, like, I love what you're doing, holding office hours for Professor Stiles and that sort of thing. How did you do it? And he was like, you should do it too. He was like, it's such a fun thing to do, to get to talk about things outside of the classroom. And that's what, and at Georgetown does that, and it does that very well. There are so many different avenues where you can really chat with people about real things, and I've had many very real conversations with my friends about everything from religion and politics, the role of women in society and that sort of thing.
Be with all my senior classmates to hear from the seniors who spoke, and that was amazing. And then to go to Tombs afterward with everyone was really cool too, because that was just something that I guess you don't do very often. I mean, you were there, some of the alums were there, and it was just kind of really nice. And it's also a group of friends who I guess, most of the kids who were in that group, I wouldn't normally hang out with them on a Friday night, but it was so nice to do that particular night. So that's one of my favorite memories.
So we opened the letter, and I thought I was going to not be able to go to Georgetown, and they covered the cost. My mom looked at me and said, you won the lottery. We won the lottery. And it really was, because I don't know how you can describe the opportunity to go to college. And it changed my world.